This is my 82 Mazda RX7. Nowhere near factory, never wanted to be, and it will never be. 4-inch flares, I actually just finished these and figured I've posted on forums, might as well just make videos about it. A lot more people can look at it and tell me what they think. But just finished both front fenders. Pretty happy with how they turned out. This one turned out a lot better than the other side. This was the second one I did. 4-inch. Clears the wheel pretty nicely. No rubs. I had these tacked on, drove the car around to make sure before I completely burned them on. So those are done. Fenders need taken to a sandblaster and get down into this, get all this paint off. Whole of the car is getting painted white. Rear wing made of plywood. I can do that. This will not stay plywood. I'm just trying to see if I like it. And to me, let's take a gather back here. To me, I think the car looks really aggressive with giant wing. That is not a bought front lip. That is me experimenting. I'm way too stubborn to buy anything, and I'll make it. It's 101. Please excuse my sniffles. It is really cold. I live in Idaho. It's currently like 12 degrees outside, and I'm in a storage unit / shop. That's how I heat it, but it can't be on because then you can't hear me talk. A little more details. 12A. This came out of my old RX7. The whole car, this car I bought a couple towns away, went, drove it up. It was just a shell. Rolling shell, I should say. No motor, no trans, nothing. Bare. No interior was in it. Nothing in here was in it. This fender is off my donor car. The doors are off donor cars. This driver's side had a lot of. This one's in really good shape and pretty straight. This one I've already grinded a lot of body filler out of this top section. Not sure how well you guys will be able to see it, but it is nowhere near straight, and there was a lot of filler in the car. Brand new windshield already put into it. I made that mistake because now I'm stripping the whole car of paint, and it's really hard to get these sections now that there's a windshield in it, but it's brand new and I really don't want to cut it out. That was a pain to install because, like I said, too stubborn to have somebody do it, and I can do it. I'd rather learn, figure it out for myself. That way, if I ever need to in the future for a different vehicle, I can put windows in now. Glass sunroof, that was a must. The original one is there for the car. It will get painted. It will stay with the car for when I want to pull the glass out because it is a lot heavier. This car is destined for racing. As I almost die because I put stuff all over the ground. Like I said, for racing. Not big tracks. I live in Idaho. We have nothing up here. So we autocross. Whole car is set up for autocross. It doesn't meet some of the rules in their current standings, but we can make things happen. 13-inch Bassett, however you pronounce that. I'm pretty sure they're Bassets. Don't quote me on that. Bought them in Boise. That was a 4-hour road trip one way, 8 hours total just to pick these up. Picked up 8 of them, 7 of them. 7 of them for $100 with tires on them. Probably 5 years ago, I had them on my Celica, autocross my Celica. These tires are shot, but it's what I want on this car, so it's a good baseline for the whole car, so I can get everything fitting just right. 12A runs, like I said. This came out of my last RX7, and he is doing a Turbo 2 swap. So I managed to sneak my motor back. 5-speed, shortened shifter, short shifter. Shortened shifter. Focus. It's an 82. So all of this is out of an 84. There's a lot of work involved in swapping to a later style. I like this gauge cluster a lot better. I like this whole dash a lot better. My last one that I sold was an 84, same setup, loved that car. Managed to get a donor that was wrecked. It's now cut in half in my other shop / storage unit, waiting to get scrapped out. Trust me, it was not worth saving. That's how bad it was. Future plans for the car. Maybe make a wing. Like I said, not gonna buy one. I'd rather learn how to do it. Wing, fiberglass, I know a little bit about it. Not a whole lot, but it's all learning experience. The whole car is a learning experience. It is also my stubborn car. That is what I've already named it. Because I'm too stubborn to one, ask for help, B, get help, or buy anything when I can just do it. I have the ideas, it's just making them. Like the front lip. Currently running stock suspension. It has Toki, I don't know how to say it. Somebody correct me. Upgraded, well, the best you can buy for said car. Racing Beat lowering springs, stock LCAs, everything's bone stock. Rear end came out of, the rear end came out of a 84 GSL, so it is limited slip. It's still 4x110. Limited slip, disc brake swapped. This car came with drum brakes and an open diff. This car is an 80, like I said, 82 GS. This came out of a GSL. All the interior is GSL, and it's a nasty burgundy. So seat and interior, I should say. I'm gonna make new door panels for it. I'm a little bit of a bigger person. So with the factory panels, it's really, really tight on my left-hand side driving the car. And it's awkward. It's just a very awkward seating position with how far it sticks out, and they don't stick out that far, but flat panel, probably gonna make it out of aluminum and get it covered. I have some friends who do high-end upholstery for big shops. It's already sitting on Racing Beat springs. Front sway bar is in the car, rear sway bar is not in the car. This car I've, like I said, put together from nothing with about seven different RX7s have made up this one. I've owned 7 in total, sold them all, fixed them all, sold them all, but this one is getting the magic treatment. I'm at that point where I want a badass race car. So that's what I'm gonna do. And in order to do that, the whole front suspension, all this is pretty much getting taken out. Gonna lose the 12A. I might keep it. I'm definitely gonna keep the motor for a different car, probably, because once again, you can't just own one RX7. You need all of them. So I'll pull this out when it comes time. I have about 8 different motor setups. Here's some plates for it, extra transmission. I had it just mocked up because I had a, what was it? 60, I want to say it was wing mount. If I do it, I plan on deleting the rear bumper, shock absorber for it. I'm going to use the same mount, come out with the tube to mount the wing onto. That way it's removable. There'll be a sail panel across it all, and I'll get little plugs made, so if I do want to take the wing off, I can just put a plug right in the hole where it goes. Wing can come off, I can set it off, pop the plug, clip the wing back in. Easily removable just in case I need to take it off, do something, somebody gets mad at me for it, or it's not legal for racing. Looking for an RX8. Don't care about the year, none of that matters. Because yank all this out, RX8 swap, subframe swaps, front and rear, because like I said, I want it to race. Live axles are good and all for straight line driving, not good for an autocross. RX8s use double wishbone suspension, front and rear. A lot of benefits to that, a lot more tunability, and just better driving performance. We may talk a lot of crap, us RX7 owners, on 8s. Some of us do at least. I know I definitely do. But they are handling machines. A Renesis is not a good motor for multiple reasons. Those who know anything about rotaries can probably agree. My opinion, all this is my opinion. So all this is going to come out. Some people have done the swaps, RX8 subframe swaps. But when they do that, they cut about here, straight across, and get rid of the whole front end. And I don't like this for the simple fact, I like my pop-up headlights. Pop-ups is where it's at. I have an old car for the headlights. A lot of work that still needs done. Rusty, a lot of rust. The other side, this side was a problem putting this flare on. It is tacked on not with a good welder. I don't have 220. I have a single 110 outlet. So it was flux core, but it's on just to make sure there was no issues. This car has been wrecked, and I know this because there was a lot of body filler in this whole section, especially this back corner. All this to about here, all this is Bondo. And there's a lot. I had to grind out a lot underneath this flare. I'm gonna cut this back off. I do know where it needs to go now. I'll mark it, I'll cut it off so I can trim under. Subframe swaps, I don't know what tire I wanna run. I would really love to find a 13. I doubt it will clear the brakes. I haven't done any measurements on it, but I like to stick with the smallest tire possible. It looks a lot better. The car probably stands on the ground. The car is probably about 4 feet tall. I can easily walk over and rest my arm on this without stretching up. It's kind of leaning down on it. It's small, it's light, there's big plans for it.